What's up, guys? This is Joshua Harmon Sr., principal broker and owner of Harmon Real Estate Company. I'm back with the segment that I used to do in 2018, 2019 called Deal of the Day. We're actually going to analyze active multifamily and single family listings in our market. I'm in the Fort Smith, Arkansas market, and I'm going to show you guys, I don't know if you want to say the right way, but the way that I analyze deals. I analyze properties on a worst case scenario basis, and when I do these, and when I analyze deals this way, I'm always making sure that myself and my clients are able to, profit on their deals and not get themselves in a position to where, they're buying properties that may not cash flow for themselves and their families and their investors. So we're gonna get right into it. This property is at 1915 South T Street. I'm gonna stand up. Actually, move back. So this property is at 1915 South T Street. It's a 4-unit property. So it's a traditional fourplex, 2 up, 2 down. Owner pays all the water. So we're gonna go through this deal. We're actually doing a huge price reduction on the deal. It was listed at $175. So listed at $175,000. We're about to do a huge price cut to $150,000. So the reason I'm doing this really, I run into so many investors who I truly don't think they know how to analyze properties. They just kind of offer a lowball offer, not really knowing, just kind of a safe offer. That way, if they get it for this price or really close to that price, they're not gonna lose. But if you truly know how to analyze a property, you save yourself, you kind of separate yourself from the competition. Because everybody else is gonna be doing the lowball thing and trying to see if they can get a deal for, less than it's worth. If you really know your market and you really know how to analyze a deal, you set yourself up to be able to operate in a competitive market. Because when we get out of this COVID-19 situation, it's going to be a very good market, and you're going to have to know how to analyze deals in order to compete. So I'm going to show you guys how I analyze it, right or wrong way. I know I do it the worst case scenario. So tune in and let's show you how we work. I seen The Banker the other day on Apple TV. It kind of inspired me to get back into this. So yeah, check it out. Gross income on this property right now is $1,830 a month. 1 unit is rent for $500, 2 of them are rented for $450, and 1 is $430. So that gets you to $1,830 a month. Your debt service or your mortgage payment, as you get more sophisticated, you'll stop saying mortgage, you'll say debt service. I want to say if you do a 5.5% interest, 20% down, which is like $28,000 or $150. I don't know exactly, but it's about $800 a month if I had to guess. So $800 a month for your mortgage. Insurance, you should be able to get an insurance quote at about $120 a month. That's just based on knowledge I have on other properties that I own and some of my clients. So I can recommend you to some people if you're interested in this deal. That'll probably get you around $120 a month for your insurance payment. Taxes are $1,300 a month. I mean, not $1,300, $1,300 a year, right around $1,300 a year. I always recommend that you put it in an escrow account and you put it in an operating, not in your operating account that you operate the property with, but a separate escrow account. That way, at the end of the year, when it's time to pay the tax assessor, you're not having to dip in your own pocket to pay those taxes. You've already been saving up. So $1,300 a year is about $80 a month, if I had to guess, of taxes. Let's see what other fixed expenses. Water, the owner pays water, runs them about $150 a month. Electricity, the tenants pay their own electric. The tenants pay their own electric, but they have common areas and also security lighting outside. So that runs them about $60 a month. What else we got that's a expense that's with them? I want to say repairs and maintenance. We can start getting into some of the variable expenses. Repairs and maintenance. So a lot of people, I think this is pretty standard. I think a lot of people are doing really good these days of factoring in repairs and maintenance as they're operating a property and owning a property. So I typically say with a C-class property built in the 70s and 80s, 10% is a pretty good rate. Obviously, if you're buying an A-class property that's a newer build or a brand new construction, you're probably looking at 5% or less. So this one, we say 10%, we'll just say $183 a month. CapEx. So repairs and maintenance, the difference between repairs and maintenance and capital expenditures or CapEx, repairs and maintenance is gonna be a repair. So if you have a clogged up dish, garbage disposal, if somebody comes and cleans it out for $80, that's repairs and maintenance. A clogged up toilet that somebody has to snake out, that's repairs and maintenance. Replacing the toilet, replacing the garbage disposal is considered CapEx because you've now improved the property, you've completely replaced an item instead of just repairing it. So we'll say about 10% as well here on the CapEx budget. Now we want to get into some of the things that I don't think people really can take into account when they're buying properties. One is vacancy. Well, on a C-class property, I'm probably gonna say about 5% on vacancy because there's a larger market. That's workforce housing to me. That's gonna be somebody working at a grocery store, fast food, a server, somewhere along those lines. Working at an AutoZone, which is right here. So working at a Walgreens or something to that effect. There's not a shortage of people in that class of property. So I'm gonna say about 5%. So half of 10%, let's just say, I don't know, $80. $90, we'll say 90. And then we'll go on to bad debt. So this is an item that I learned from people who own thousands and thousands of units. They consider bad debt. The difference between vacancy and bad debt, vacancy is just people not being in your properties at all. Your unit's completely empty or somebody's moving out. Bad debt is somebody actually living in the property and owing you money, which is very, very common with C-class properties because obviously, especially right now, COVID-19, this is probably going to spike more than vacancy. People aren't going to just move out. They're just going to owe you money and not be able to pay you. So that's something that you'll want to take into account, especially right now. So I'll say a similar rate. I wouldn't say 5%. I think that's a little high. Let's just say 2.5% on bad debt. So $45 a month. So we'll calculate this real quick. I don't really think there's anything else that I want to add in at the moment. And you'll see that this deal, on the surface, doesn't seem like a very good deal if you operate it the same way that they're operating. So we'll do the math on this real quick. I'm not as good as the guy on the banker. I can't do this in my head. I'm sorry, y'all. So bear with me for a second. Y'all probably have your phone, so you're typing a lot faster than I am. So my net income that I have, worst case scenario, this is a month that everything pretty much went wrong for the most part. Net income, what was that? $119 a month. $119 a month. If you put down $28,000 a month and you operate, you put down $28,000, you only make $119 a month. That's probably not the greatest of months. And if you annualize that, you're at $1,428. So $1,428. If you divide that by your $28,000 down payment, that is a 5% return. 5% cash on cash return. People always ask me, like, what's a good deal? What's that cash on cash return? Once you start to get a little bit more sophisticated and you start to scale your portfolio, to 100 units, 200 units, those larger properties, cash on cash return is what your investors are going to care about. Very, very, very much so. Even with these properties, if you were able to, get a private lender like a family member, right now is a great time to go to family members who have 401ks and different retirement accounts because they're fluctuating so much. When they're doing well and the market's doing great, they feel good, they feel great. They're saying, hey, look, I got money in my retirement account. Why are you investing in real estate? Doesn't make sense. But as you start to see those peaks, instead of the valley, you start to see those peaks, people start to get a little bit more, they start to understand a little bit more what you're saying by, hey, look, if you give me $28,000, I can get you better returns and you'll actually know where your money's going. People have money in 401ks, they don't know where their money's going. Just some guy or girl behind a desk, trading their money in the stock market. With this, you know where your money's going. There's actual people, there's real structures, there's real lawn, there's real bushes. So this would be a great time to go to your aunt, uncle, mom, dad, family, friend. Say, hey, look, if you give me $28,000 for this deal, I can show you how worst case scenario I can make you a 5% return. And I'm sure that's probably the best that you're ever going to do in your stock market and your retirement account. So I'm going to show you guys how you can add value to this property and kind of spike this cash on cash return. Cash on cash return is basically the money you put in, how much money you're getting back. What's the rate of return on that money? So based on what I know, this property has a unit rent for $500. So that tells me that you should be able to scale that across the other 4 units and get the same results. So let's just say that you go in there and put floors and paint, which it shouldn't cost you very much. You should be able to get this up to $2,000 a month. Let's see, the water bill is a little high. And the reason I say it's a little high is because they're not currently using their the laundry facilities. So they don't have a washer and dryer set in there right now. I know right now, and one of my properties, I own the same structure right up the street, the exact same building from the exact same builder. My water bill runs me about $150 a month, and I also get about $100 a month in laundry income. So we'll add in another $100 for laundry income because we're gonna go to our local used appliance store. We're gonna get us a coin-operated laundry unit for about $800, and we're gonna get $100 a month on that. So if you talk about the cash on cash return on that, of just adding a laundry facility, $100 a month times 12 is $1,200. That's over 100% return. You made all your money back plus some. If you buy $800 to $1,000 laundry unit, you should be able to make about $100 a month on that. So water should stay about the same because what we're gonna do is we're gonna change those toilets out. We're gonna check the aerators. So we're gonna check the water flow. Little aerators that you put in your sinks, you put in your showers, and what that does is decreases the water flow. But then what that does is that decreases that water bill because you can tell that there's either a leak out there or they're using way too much water. So you can either replace those sinks and toilets. A toilet should cost you about $100. Faucets should cost you about $30. If you're gonna change out the whole sink, you're probably looking at about $200 per unit. So if you do sinks and faucets, $200, $230, $800. You're looking at close to $900 for that. Changing all the toilets, you're probably looking at about $1,500. So that's something that I would go ahead and do. I'm gonna write that down here. Toilets plus sinks. Let's just say $1,000. We're gonna go in there and do floors in the 2 remaining units that don't have new floors. What I will tell you guys, if you want to start to check in with those sellers to see if they still have materials. Because a lot of times what they're doing is they're renovating units as they come open, but they already have the materials. So if they don't have the materials, you're probably looking at $1,000 a unit for those last 2 units on floor. So we'll see $2,000 on floor. All the units have been painted. I would still go in and paint the common areas out of this CapEx budget. I probably would do that with a front end. We're gonna also write down here our laundry. For $800. So we've added that for 20. We've done our toilets and sinks. We've done our floors. We've done our laundry units, which is actually gonna give your tenant sense of pride as well. by having an ability to do laundry at their property instead of having to go down the street and go to the coin-operated laundry facility. If they're charging $2, I probably charge them $2 as well. Say, hey, look, you're paying $2 to go down the street. You might as well just do it right here. And that's going to add a lot of value to your residents, and they're more prone to stay because they have new amenities at the property. So $2,100 gross income with what these things should do to your top line. Water should stay the same because we're going to change those sinks and toilets. Electric should be fine. Your repairs and maintenance, I'm not changing that at all, but I am going to change my CapEx budget a little bit because I've now renovated the property. I've done some improvements. I'm going to slash that in half. I'm going to say you're going to pay about $90 a month instead of the $183 on CapEx. Your vacancy, you should see a change in your vacancy, but we're not going to change that, and I'm not going to change my bad debt either. So we're going to see what that does for us. If we add 20, we add about $300 to our top line and reduce about $90 from our bottom, from one of our expenses. Sorry, you guys, bear with me, please. So if I'm doing my math right, I've increased my net income from $119 to $482 a month. So my new net income should be $482, and we're gonna multiply that by 12. That should net us about $57.84 a year. And what we're gonna do is, since our down payment is $28,000, I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget it because I'm gonna take this off of my calculator. 84. If you do the 28,000 plus 1,000 plus 2,000 plus 100, our all-in cash should be about $31,800. Now, how I got that was our down payment of $28,000 plus the expenses. Or our CapEx items that we're gonna go in and do as soon as we buy this property or as they come open, as those units come open. So we're gonna divide that $57.84 by $31,800, and that gives us an 18% cash on cash return. 18%. So we're gonna erase all this so we can get a clear picture of what I just did. And anybody who invests in real estate, anybody who aspires to invest in real estate, you tell me that you don't want to take an 18% return because it's not good enough a deal for you. I don't know what to do for you. So we're gonna do this math real quick. So our down payment, is $28,000. All in expenses, we're looking at about, I think it was $31,800. And our net return was $57.84. That gets us an 18% cash on cash return. So a lot of people are gonna say, I don't have $31,000. Well, I'll also tell you that Byron Allen, who owns hundreds of television stations and networks, he owns the Weather Network. He didn't have billions of dollars to buy the Weather Network either. You have to be creative and get access to capital. The people that are billionaires, millionaires, they don't always have the cash, but they have access to capital because they have this knowledge base that they leverage in order to borrow money from people who may not be able to go out there and do this type of legwork to find the deal, they don't have the experience to get the mortgage. Some people have the cash, but they don't have the experience that's going to give mortgage lenders the comfortability to give you a debt payment or a mortgage. So by you having the knowledge and the access to capital, you get the sky's the limit. So 18% cash on cash return. This is a deal that you want to take to your mom, dad, your uncle, close family member, a close friend. Say, hey, look, let me borrow $31,800 and let's split this right here. I'll give you 9% return. You see what I'm saying? And maybe not even do a I don't know, maybe just do a loan. I don't know, with interest only loan, which may eat into these returns, but figure it out. Figure out the way that it works for you. I would probably bring this person in as a 50-50 partner and get half of this deal. And with half of a good deal is better than no deal, or better than being in a bad deal where you put no money down and the deal never performs. So I would probably do this deal 50-50 with somebody if I didn't have the capital. And if you do have cash sitting in your 401k and you're able to borrow against that or convert that into a self-directed IRA, I'm not an accountant, I'm just talking about things that I know that you're able to do. This is a deal that can really, really build wealth for yourself and your family. So guys, stop asking me for deals. Here goes a deal right here. It's sitting right here. This is worst case scenario, what you should be able to do. So get in contact with us. We love to help. You can email me at info@harmonrealestatecompany.com. Send me an email if you have a deal that you need help analyzing, or if you're in the market to buy some investment property and just not really sure where to start. Or if you're an experienced investor and you just really need help just sourcing deals. Get in contact with me. They're out here. This deal is sitting on the MLS. We've got it listed. This isn't some hidden property that's out there. I'm getting people hitting me up all the time about it and haven't had anybody pull the trigger on it. So here you go. Here goes a deal, 18% cash on cash return. Thanks for tuning in to our first episode back of Deal of the Day. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.